This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network. Mitch Moss, along with Pauly Howard. We're live in downtown Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Big 3-hour program lined up today. We'll have plenty on the playoffs, NBA and the National Hockey League. We'll recap what took place this weekend, get into their game twos tonight. There is a game one as well. Very active Major League Baseball card, which we'll get into. Juicy rumors in the NFL draft. And Charlie Campbell joins the program coming up in 30 minutes. I think he's been the most accurate mock drafter, like in the country, 9 years running, or over the last 9 years. He's at the very top of it anyway. Guy's awesome. We'll talk to him coming up in 30 minutes overall about the draft. RJ Choppy on the Cowboys. How aggressive are they going to get this week / Thursday night in the draft? And Nick Whalen with some best bets, player props coming up tonight in the NBA playoffs. So in the first 8 games of the association, home team 7-1 straight up in ATS, under 7-1, and all 8 games were decided by 10-plus points. Bill 80 was writing about this a lot today in the VSiN newsletter, the VSiN Daily. Get it in your inbox every single day when you wake up by about 6 o'clock Eastern time. The zigzag theory for tonight, I will tell you right now that according to the betting splits, at least at DraftKings anyway, that is how the public is betting the 2 games tonight. 62% of the bets on the Cavaliers, 66% on the Knicks, and 55% so far on the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, well, we got injuries too.
Yeah, we do.
That's big. You know, if they don't have Quickly in Toronto, good luck. And they did an excellent job defending Ingram. And Okongwu was at shoot-around. He's a questionable, and it looks like Ant's going to go as he's bothered by that knee. And other than that first quarter, Minnesota really struggled, and he struggled with his shot as well. I didn't think Denver played well and still won. So pivotal game 2 here, hockey and NBA. It's almost like there's too much going on. Hard to keep track of, 8 playoff games, 7 playoff games.
I don't know how they would ever do this. I wish they could almost stagger their playoffs. So maybe it would be like one night NBA, the next night's the NHL.
Yeah.
Or maybe one of the leagues could actually end like a month before the other. So we don't have like 7-8 games like every single night. Because I agree with you. There's a lot. And how do you do like live betting on a night like tonight? Mm-hmm. When you have all these games basically going on at the same exact time. It can be a little bit tough, obviously. If you're only one person, if you're not like networking with a big group, it can be a little bit difficult. But I don't like in that game, should we expect anything different than the Cavaliers kind of coasting to an easy victory? And why would we expect anything else from Donovan Mitchell? He was awesome, only played like 31 minutes in that game. Is he not going to have another big game tonight?
Yep. We said that in game 1 he would go off. It's the one game that went over. They should get whatever they want offensively. Jakob Poeltl's not going to do much in this series. Mobley and Allen should kill him. Strus was great.
Yeah, where'd that come from?
Yep, and they just did an excellent job with Wade and shadowing Ingram. Shed took more shots than Ingram in that loss. So maybe Cleveland can take it up another notch offensively. That's a lot of points to be laying, though. When you figure Toronto's season on the line, I can't see them winning 4 out of 5 if they go down tonight. So also, if you're Cleveland, you got to get going here. I mean, this looks like if Detroit's going to win that series, it's going to be a war. And it's going to go 6 or 7.
Well,
so you really can take advantage here that part of the bracket can open up. And who knows, you might be playing an 8 seed to go to the conference finals.
Well, should we put it out there that you need to be careful what you wish for? If you're the Cavaliers, are you begging for the Magic? Or at that point, if the Magic were to beat the Pistons, they would suddenly be playing, obviously, their best basketball of the entire year in a team that most people thought, or a lot of people thought, could actually be a contender in the Eastern Conference when they made that acquisition of Bain in the offseason, and they could, put together a great year. Suddenly, the last 2 games, they look like the team that people feared before the season started.
Doesn't make any sense.
Zero.
Why'd you wait 83 games?
I have no idea.
Banchero was terrible. Going back to the Sun, Boston sat 7, their top 7 starters, and Orlando needed it for home court, lane 13, listless performance, lost. Mm-hmm. Same thing happened against Philly. And then they found their game after all this we want the coach fired business, which makes no sense. But I think it's a 5-alarm fire in Detroit. I mean, you've lost 11 straight home playoff games. Yeah. You haven't won a home playoff game since 2008. You haven't led a series since 2008. And everything that was said about this team, who do you trust outside of Caden? Duran got outplayed by Carter Jr. No one played well. And on Cunningham passes, his teammates shot 4 of 16, and they're 28th in three-point shooting. All of it. It was a wire job.
I know.
It's the first time since 1984 a 1 seed in their first game never led.
And it's also the only favorite to have that result over the entire weekend. Like we talked about, home teams, 7-1 straight up in ATS, and they were laying a lot. And we had a ton of blowouts. It wasn't even that great of basketball overall. And then you had that result. And look, I try to defend the Pistons, and it's only one game, so I'm not going to write them off. But clearly now, doesn't look like it's going to be as easy as I thought anyway here. JVT wrote them off on our podcast. We have other guests on the show here on Follow the Money asking them, do you think they're being disrespected? They're the 1 seed, they're the 4th shot on the board. I certainly felt they were disrespected. Yeah. And that was an absolute clunker last night. And outside of Cunningham, he took a lot of shots to get those points. Like, who played well in that game last night?
Oh, Duran took 4 shots? That's ridiculous.
Huh?
Yep.
Didn't get much help at all.
They're not afraid of him either. And Banchero was talking trash, and he was aggressive.
I will point this out. Steve Makinen has this today on the website, vsin.com. Game 2 angles last 9 years. First round, Game 2 teams at home. Game 2 at home. 57-15 straight up. 48-24 against the spread. That's 67%. Game 1 winners at home. 33-18 ATS since 2016, meaning in Game 2. That only went 2-4 ATS last year, but again, going back to last decade, that's 65%. And for that game anyway, with the Pistons and the Magic, if you lose as a home favorite in Game 1 of the first round, since 2021 in Game 2, you are 7-0 straight up and 7-0 ATS. Since 2017, you're 13-1 straight up, 13-1 ATS.
Come on.
That's from Scott Seidenberg, VSiN host here.
That's a lot of points.
That's a great stat, though.
That is. I got a prop in the Atlanta game. It's popular, but I'm surprised at the line. Daniels, who led everyone in assists and cashed 8-1 in Game 1, his assists and rebounds prop is 12.5. He's gone over that every game against the Knicks, and I certainly think he'll go over that here. He only had 5 points, but he had all the assists in Game 1. Alexander Walker didn't shoot it well. They didn't play well, but a lot of stuff we talked about previewing the series came to fruition. No answer for Cat. Brunson isn't going to play like that after he went off in the first quarter and made 1 shot the rest of the game. And I think it's reflected in the number, too. I mean, the Knicks are coming off a win and a cover, and they're still laying 6.5. You know, how many guys can score for Atlanta? They got nothing from the bench. The number 1 overall pick, Risha Shea, played 2 minutes. Yeah. Kuminga didn't give him much. So that's the other thing about you get that boost and juice from the crowd, and it's so nuts at the Garden. And guys like Hart seem to step their game up come playoff time as well. And he cashed most rebounds in the game at 10-1.
Okay, so I'm severely disappointed in a VSiN host. And that's the guy whose show just ended right now before us. That's Jonathan Von Tobel. Talk to the guy all the time. Do the podcast with him once a week. Never once mentioned to me Josh Hart most rebounds in the series. I can't believe I didn't look at it. Shame on me. He has him 30-1 most rebounds. How is that number even available? And so I had no idea until 10 minutes ago that he made that bet, because this is a prop that I'm on for tonight. Hart had 14 rebounds in Game 1. Series by series for him last year in the playoffs. Against Detroit, he averaged 8.7 rebounds. He had 3 double-digit games. Against Boston, 8.3 rebounds per game, double digits twice. Against the Pacers, he had 9.3 as an average, double digits in 4 out of 6 games. You go back to 2024 in the playoffs. He averaged 12.5 against the 76ers. He averaged 11 against the Pacers and had double digits in 4 out of 7 games. I played over 7.5 rebounds minus 106 tonight. There's something about Josh Hart come playoff time where he absolutely dominates on the glass.
Yep.
And he'll play a ton of minutes, and he'll be super active, and he's just all heart and all determination and all guts, and you love to watch it. He's part of the reason why I can actually stomach this Knicks team, and 7.5 felt a little bit cheap to me. And I'm mad at myself for not seeing him to lead that series in rebounds.
All right, so we got a couple props there as well, and I would think Joker would go over everything tonight as well. I mentioned Denver didn't play well. They were 1 of 17 from 3 in the second half, and they still won the game. Finch was complaining about the whistle. Murray shot more free throws than the entire T-Wolves team.
Mm-hmm.
But, after that slow start, they were strong. But they have had their issues in game twos. As strong as they've been in game ones, they've had issues in game. They're the opposite of the Dallas Stars, who always lose game one. So maybe Minnesota's got a shot here and to keep it close. That's a lot of points. But then again, with a compromised Ant, I just don't think they're going to be hard to win this game, especially with Denver winning 13 games in a row.
Yep, I'll expand on this coming up in about an hour or so, a little bit less than that. But Joker's numbers against the T-Wolves going back are absolutely preposterous, as they are pretty much against any team. But he is the cheapest number I could find today on him to have a triple-double is minus 120. Other books had minus 145. I think I saw even like a minus 155 out there.
Yeah.
I would have absolutely bet like even money. Minus 120 is still probably worth it tonight.
Yep. Gordon was in foul trouble early as well. And both teams to score in the first minute cashed, plus 180. That's a fun prop, instant gratification. We'll see if the home teams keep this going, though. I mean, that was certainly impressive, what they did to start. And maybe these teams are just overmatched, too.
It could be a little bit like March Madness.
Yeah, right. Now, the Durant thing is bizarre. And he's a game-time decision.
They just announced that about 20 minutes ago. Yep.
Yeah. And then Luka's back at practice. So it's just, this plays out perfectly. If they can win the first two, and then that game 7 would be on a Sunday, a week from Sunday, that he could come back, and the Rockets just, you mess around, you play with your food, you're an $8 favorite, and look at this now.
Do you understand the hype the NBA is going to have if the Lakers win this series and we can get OKC with a somewhat healthy Lakers team in round 2?
And Wemby,
I mean, just to promote it. I mean, up next, juicy rumors. NFL insiders are now hearing that the NFL draft week is upon us, including what should be a bombshell, or would be a bombshell, going off at number 3 overall.
So you're listening to this podcast because you want an edge. But what if I told you you're only halfway there? You've got the mindset. Now it's time to get the toolkit to match. Here's the thing. Pro bettors spend thousands on data and tools, but what they don't want you to know is you can get the same edge for a fraction of the cost with VSiN Pro. With VSiN Pro, you get access to expert picks, public betting data, prop projections, powerful tools, analytics, and more. Tap the link in the description and see why thousands of bettors are already using VSiN Pro to cash more bets.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
By the way, I'll give you this as well. The zigzag theory in the NHL. Teams that lost the previous game are 52.5% over the last 14 seasons, producing plus 25.63 units. If you're backing game 1 winners, well, you've lost a lot. You're down 126 units in that same time. Not bad. So it does work in the National Hockey League.
Dallas will bounce back and respond tonight.
Are you sure?
Yes. That's what they do. They made the conference finals 3 years in a row. They are horrendous in game 1s. They've lost 7 of their last 8 game 1s, and that was a horrible performance.
That is an absolute indictment on Ottinger. And Mike Palmer's been all over this for years.
Come on. It's unfair. 3 straight conference finals. He's a good goalie. He's from our neck of the woods. He will bounce back today. And
are you saying I'm unfair or he's unfair about him? Because game 1 was an abomination.
He's unfair. The guy's been to 3 straight conference finals. How are you going to knock the guy?
No.
I mean, it's he gets it done. Yeah, it's not like he's Grant Fuhr, but it's hard to rip somebody who's been to the conference finals 3 years in a row. But the other thing is they better respond because their season's on the line. You lose this, good luck. But then let's see how the Wild handle prosperity now. You beat their face in. You haven't won a playoff series since 2015.
Actually, you know what? If Dallas loses tonight, I'd be intrigued by the number to come back and win the series.
Really?
It's hockey, man. Anything happens.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
And that angle was gold for years. If you lose your first 2 at home, play them in game 3 because that's, sure.
All right, so we'll talk NFL draft with Charlie Campbell coming up in about 15 minutes, WalterFootball.com. One of, if not the most accurate mock drafters in this entire space, going back almost a decade now. So everybody basically in NFL, like insider bait, podcasters, people in the know, covering teams, national guys, they really kind of unloaded the Gatling gun last night and today with what they're hearing, go as they do every single year on Sunday night/Monday. Schefter said today on ESPN.com, one GM told him that this was not a great year to have a top 10 pick. Another executive called the first half of round one, quote, uninspiring, saying there are good players, but not a lot of star power. Other executives say they believe that one of the strong suits of this class might be in the third and fourth rounds. So does that mean we're not going to have a very active, trade front tomorrow night? And I should say Thursday night?
No, we will.
Because here's what I'm afraid of. I think people think that the 2027 draft is so good they don't want to give up those picks.
Okay.
That's why I think it might not be very active.
All right. Multiple GMs that expect a lot of movement and fireworks. We'll see. How many? I don't know what define a lot, but I think we'll see movement and might start with the Cowboys. And you got the big news with what the Giants did already.
No doubt. So a very common narrative here, again, based on everybody, podcasts that I've listened to, read, whatever. If we do get trades, more teams actually want to trade down than up this year.
Yes.
Daniel Jeremiah, some nuggets from his conference call that he puts on every single year. He, talked about love to the Titans. And this is absolutely fascinating what could happen with him. I'll expand on that in a second. But Jeremiah's belief is that the Tennessee Titans are not close enough right now to add a guy like Jeremiah Love as the fourth overall pick in the draft. He thinks that, and he believes in building teams around the quarterback with the offensive line before you actually add a luxury piece like a running back at number 4 overall. So he thinks it's a mistake, but he's actually breaking his own rule saying they're going to take Love 4th overall. On the Commanders, if Sonny Styles is on the board, it's a lock they're taking him. But the Commanders also want to move out. It could be a potential huge pivot spot in the entire draft. The Saints at 8, it keeps coming back to Ruben Bain and Tyson, who's now minus $4 to go under 10.5 or to be a top 10 pick.
I think he's got to go to the Giants
at 10.
Yeah, I know you took the 5-1 was available. I just think with the trade and having dinner with the guy and I think that's got to be the pick at 10. He'll be there.
The odds on Reese to go number 2 keep moving up now.
Yep.
And Todd McShay in his podcast late last night said that he's pretty strong on Reese going number 2 overall. We'll talk to Charlie Campbell coming up again in about 10 minutes. We'll find out who he has pegged in number 2 as we speak. McShay added this, quote, there's a voice within the Cardinals that wants Jeremiah Love 3rd overall. I'm hearing that voice carries more weight than maybe I thought. This is him still speaking. I'm told if Arizona sticks at 3, it's Love. I'm also told I don't know if there's a team in the top 10 more eager to move out. End of quote.
Mm-hmm.
So he thinks if they stay at number 3, there is a very good chance Love could be the running back. Now, is that also...
all hell breaks loose if Tennessee doesn't take Love either.
I would agree with that.
I think the Giants trade the pick.
So is this also do the Cardinals really love him? Are they convinced that the Titans love him? Are they trying to get something in the works here with Tennessee? But he also, other teams are going to be maybe willing to move up to number 3. And I say that because McShay said there's a lot of buzz about the Chiefs. He added that people in the league don't know how real that is. But KC, this is him talking again, KC could trade up to number 3 with the Cardinals. And he is told on really good authority that Andy Reid is hell-bent on figuring out his offensive line. So the thought there is, if the Chiefs stay at number 9 and don't move up, the top, I think it was maybe the top 3 offensive linemen, certainly the top 2 that they have targeted on their board, would be gone at 9. And they have another pick in the first round. And if they don't go line number 1 overall, if they're gone, the guys that are considered elite are going to be gone by, I think they're picking 29th overall in the first round as well. So
Maui Noah? They would do that at 3? Or who would they go with?
Could be Fano.
Okay. He's getting more steam to go 6 to Cleveland. And the Tate numbers have moved. Okay.
Mm-hmm. More McShay. He said that there is a strong belief that Sonny Styles is the pick at number 5. He added this, I can tell you this for a fact. If you want to get Styles, you have to get him at number 5. Others have said it's Caleb Downs, and the reason why he said that is because if Washington stays at number 7, and Styles is on the board, it's 2 seconds and in. The card's going to go in. It's going to be Sonny Styles. If Washington stays at 7, makes the pick, and Styles is not on the board, if it's a wide receiver, it's absolutely Carnell Tate.
Yeah.
No exception. Carnell Tate is going to be the pick if that's a situation that unfolds.
How about RJ Choppy's coming on later? What's Dallas doing if they trade to 9?
McShay said that he is told Dallas is more likely to move back from 20 than they are to move up from 12. So that was one of his juicy tidbits on the podcast last night.
Mm-hmm.
And so, again, 2 players that he's told the Giants are absolutely in love with, Sonny Styles and Caleb Downs. If the Giants really want Caleb Downs and they love both Downs and Styles, Styles is absolutely gone at number 7 if he's there for Washington. If the Chiefs don't move up to 3, maybe they would move up to 5th with the Giants. The Giants could move back to 9th and potentially get Downs there. And
incredible.
I know.
Because unsolicited, a friend of a friend said, who works for the team, we're not taking Downs. Because he'd been mocked there numerous times.
That's right.
And he said, we're not taking it Downs at 5. I'll tell you that right now.
So, and again, I keep hearing conflicting stuff on the Chiefs, but even if the Chiefs, if they stay at number 9 and there's an offensive lineman there, they're taking an offensive lineman. But I don't know what kind of rush we're going to have an offensive lineman before them.
And I'm still seeing Sadiq to KC at 9, too.
That's Charlie Campbell had that in his mock earlier today.
Yes. Anything on Simpson?
The Simpson stuff's been so far all over the map.
Yeah.
I believe he was saying he's a first-round pick. To be honest, I've lost interest in the whole Ty Simpson thing. So I kind of tuned that part out. But he also did add that Dylan Thieneman, the safety from Oregon, is a super hot name in this draft. I don't think I have that bet from last week on him to go top 10 because Trevor Sikkema said that he's worth maybe a shot to go top 10 because he absolutely loves the guy. The other mock drafter on ESPN is his name Jordan Reed, I believe, ESPN.com.
Yes.
He has Thieneman now going top 12.
Wow.
In fact, Cowboys taking him 12th overall if they stay there at number 12. So I don't know if 10 seems unlikely a little bit still, but it was 15-1 for a reason, the way it seems. So, by the way, the Fano number here, Circa put some props up over the weekend. They put Fano's draft position at 9.5, and the juice has been all over. Before the show started, he was plus 135 to go under 9.5. Isn't he?
Cleveland's taking him.
Yeah, he's gone before 9, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think I have to bet that.
Yeah. That number continues to go down on him to Cleveland.
Him specifically to Cleveland.
He's the second choice now, but the Tate stuff has moved. As Rizzo told us 2 weeks ago, they're not taking Tate.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. I thought a lot of that stuff was pretty juicy.
Yes.
I mean, if the Chiefs move up to 3, Cowboys, again, I don't know who. We'll figure that out with RJ Choppy coming up in about an hour.
Not a fan of the Lawrence trade.
No.
Bad job, he said.
Yeah.
Because we got a lot to talk about, and they gave Aubrey $7 million.
Yep. So Charlie Campbell next, one of the most accurate mock drafters in the business for several years running. We'll talk to him about most of the stuff that we just ran down coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
This is going to be a lot of fun. Charlie Campbell joins the program now. He's on the Progressive Guest Line. Does a great job with WalterFootball.com. You can follow him on X at Draft Campbell, and he has been the single most accurate mock drafter within NFL media going back a good decade. Charlie, absolute pleasure to talk to you today. Thanks for the time. How are you?
I'm doing great. Excited for this draft. So it's a tough year to predict, but definitely is going to be a lot of fun and exciting to see how it all unfolds.
Now, do you say that almost every year that it's a tough year to predict, or is this seriously like tougher than previous like drafts, like going back 3, 5, 10 years, however long?
Yeah, it's tougher than others. Like, for example, like 5 years ago, I think in 2021, I had like 13 correct picks in my mock draft, and a couple years ago had a similar number there, like 13 right. And those years felt easier to me than this year. So, you know, especially like 2 years ago when you had like all the quarterback quarterbacks in the top 12. It kind of gave you an anchor at the top, and then you kind of saw the other elite guys, special players that would kind of fit in around those quarterbacks, and it really kind of made the top half of the first round easier to predict. But this year we don't have the quarterbacks. We don't have as many elite talents. This isn't a group that has like Jamar Chase, Penny Sewell, Kyle Pitts, all in one year. So without that, this year is definitely, in my opinion, been tougher to predict.
Okay, so then where are you at right now on the Monday of draft week with the number 2 overall pick? Because the odds movement on this has been crazy, as I'm sure you're aware of. Reese was a $2 favorite going back a couple of weeks, and Bailey turned into the favorite, and then that news comes out. The Jets canceled their visit with Bailey, and now Reese again is. I'm looking at minus 260 right now at DraftKings. What are you thinking as of right now? Who's going to go number 2?
Well, I think the change in the odds there could be onto something. So I think I'm probably going to end up having it go with Reese to the Jets. And, looking back I had it there for a long time, and then there was all the buzz about Bailey. But when you think back to Aaron Glenn at Detroit, and then at the time before that at New Orleans, stopping the run was always, paramount. And Reese is a much better run defender than Bailey. So with that being the case, and he can do more in run defense, where you line him up and whatnot. So it makes sense, kind of when push comes to shove, that they would lean towards Reese.
Okay, so then what's up with the rumors from over the weekend? And we just talked about this in the previous segment with Jeremiah Love possibly going 3rd overall to Arizona. You buying any of that?
I would say I spoke to teams over the weekend, and one of them said that, with a director of player personnel, he said with Monty Ossenfort kind of getting onto the hot seat, a player like Love could be more of an aid in saving that job. If you can point to, hey, look at this running back that's ripping off 100-yard games, steadily during the season, and showing that you got the pick right and the highlight reel runs that Love can provide. So I think that there's some credence to that, but at the same time, aside from Josh Sweat, like the other top 5 defensive starters for Arizona totaled 7.5 sacks between all 5 of them last year. So it's hard to think that they, would pass on getting a really good edge rush. James Conner, signed Tyler Algier, took, Benson in the 3rd round a couple years ago. So I lean towards no, that Love won't go at 3, but I don't think it's impossible.
What do the Giants do now with number 5 and number 10, in your opinion, and what you're hearing with the rumors, and some stuff's been all over the place?
Yeah, and I'm going to have them end up taking Jordan Tyson at 5, and then I'll have that.
Yeah, we're going to have to try to reconnect again.
Oh, that'd be a shock.
Did I hear him correctly there?
Tyson at 5.
Tyson at 5?
That's a big one.
That completely
I think I thought it would be going to be flipped. It'd be Tyson at 10.
Tyson at 10?
Tyson at 5 is 5-1. But that's come down.
Yes, it has.
I see. Saturday night, he was 5-1 to go 10. Also.
Okay. I'm seeing 3-1 to go 5th overall. So I can't imagine, that spot must have taken... there's no way he was 3-1 to go 5th overall before, yesterday.
He's down to 4-1 to go 10th. Downs is the favorite.
So they're hot and heavy on him then.
Would they go? They could go Downs Tyson, or they go Tyson Downs.
Are they afraid that Tyson wouldn't be there at 10? Can't you get Tyson at 10?
Yes, you can.
Or are they afraid that because the Saints could be a player for Tyson at 10 or at 8? I'm sorry.
I thought that'd be Tate. They take Tate. They're not going to take Tyson. They want Tate.
If Washington takes a receiver again from, if they would go that position per Todd McShay, it's absolutely Carnell Tate at 7. But that's if Sonny Styles is off the board. But it feels like Styles is going to be gone by 7. I don't know, but if you have...
So you're saying wide receiver 7, wide receiver 8, Saints could screw that up?
Maybe,
That's why they got to take Tyson? Okay.
Yeah, because the Chiefs are not going to take a wide receiver at 9 overall. They could go Sadiq there if they wanted to go. I hope that's kind of what they do. But again, maybe that's offensive line. If McShay is what he's saying is accurate.
Well, this all gets blown to hell if the Cowboys come in and trade.
Yes, it does.
Do they come up to 6? Do they come up to 9?
Do they go up to 3 with the Cardinals?
Charlie has them coming up to 9 in his mock, the most accurate draft site. And Charlie crushes it every year, as he talked about. But that's, yes. And more with R.J. Choppy coming up. That's where it gets interesting. And does someone maybe take a stand and take Bain? He's got them going. He's got Bain going 11 to Miami, but a lot of people have him New Orleans. A lot of people have him top 10.
Yeah. Well, that'd be fair. I hope he can get his cell phone working again here because he broke up at the exact time I wanted to hear more on that. I read Ruben Bain 11 to the Dolphins.
Yeah.
If he slides.
Got that, yeah.
Like, could that actually happen?
He's got Sadiq to Kansas City. Another one.
Oh, we got Charlie Campbell back now, WalterFootball.com on X at Draft Campbell. You were, before you broke up, Charlie, you were kind of expanding on what you think the Giants might do at 5 and 10.
Yeah, I think at 10, they would take Sonny Styles if he got there. I think he'll be gone. So I think Mansour Delane could be a plan B and fill that hole at corner at 5. I think they're going to, prioritize helping their young quarterback and getting Jordan Tyson. He would be a great fit across from Neighbors. Neighbors coming off a serious injury. You lose Wan'Dale Robinson in free agency. Mm-hmm. And all the teams picking 6 through 9 could take a receiver. So if they want to get Tyson, they're better off taking him at 5 than chancing it, because every team 6, 7, 8, 9 could go receiver, and he'd fit all of those teams.
How strong are you with Fano going 6 to Cleveland?
Well, pretty strong, but I do know Cleveland really wants to trade down. So I think that, trading down and taking a tackle is their hope. And I know they like Fano, and I know they really like Caden Proctor from Alabama. So I think if both were available, they'd go with Fano because he's a little cleaner prospect. But I do think they would be happy to move down and end up getting Proctor.
Okay. Where do you think Sadiq ends up going?
Well, have him going to Kansas City. And I think that that's a great fit for him. And I think they would, he would be perfect for them in their scheme in terms of being the long-term replacement for Kelsey. Aside from Kansas City, it's tough to project. I could see Philadelphia jumping at him. Howie Roseman likes the physical freaks. With what he did at the Combine, he certainly gave proof to that. They've looked at tight ends hard in recent years as well, with Dallas Goedert aging, and also with A.J. Brown traded. Sadiq kind of could help fill the void of a bigger receiving target that they can line up at a variety of spots. And he's a tough blocker to help the ground game there. So I think Philadelphia could be the dark horse, but if I had to pick one, I'd go with Kansas City.
Okay. In like 30 seconds here, do you have Ty Simpson slotted into the first round?
No, I have him going right now early in the second to Arizona, but I would definitely not be at all surprised if they traded back to take him.
Yep. Charlie, you're great. I could talk to you all day long. Thanks so much for the time on a busy week, obviously, and good luck with the draft, okay?
Thank you, guys. You guys take care.
Back at you.
Thanks, Charlie.
He's on X at Draft Campbell, WalterFootball.com. Joined us here on the Progressive Guest Line. Most accurate mock drafter in NFL media going back to last decade.
Did you like the Lawrence trade?
So what did your gut reaction say to that?
I think that's a big reach for Cincinnati.
My gut was I hate it for the Bengals.
Yep.
And then since that was my immediate reaction, I have heard stronger takes than that from other people, and I've also heard people say they absolutely hated it for the Giants.
Yeah, Warren Sharp had a good breakdown on it and what he meant to the defense.
Yep.
Yeah.
Paul's going to detail win-lose from over the weekend. They have now set a playoff record at home. An NHL team cashed a 9-1 ticket by winning this method, and a 20-1 cash yesterday in Major League Baseball.
Win Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays. Were you a winner last night?
Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser!
Pauly Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
Hard to score against Carolina. They smother you, and they won by shutout, and that paid 9-1 in Game 1 to start the playoffs. How about the fight 3 seconds into the game? Strong. Good for the Sabres in Buffalo. Longest drought over, 10-1 in play. First playoff win in 15 years. First home win since 2011. They look dead. More on that coming up.
Oh, that game.
Oh, that was something. Great atmosphere. Montreal plus 160. Supposed to be an entertaining series. Game 1 lived up to it, 4-3. Fitzpatrick gets it done, 16-1, beats Scheffler in a playoff. NBA. Celtics 11.5 up to 15, pounded Philly. Thunder 13 up to 17. Told you how horrific that spot was for the Suns on Friday's show. Spurs from 10 up to 12.5. Magic plus 280 on the money line. Both teams to score in the first minute. Minnesota, Denver plus 180. Lakers, Rockets plus 180. Most points. Every single game listed and every single category before the series as well with all the series props. Murray was plus 350. In the Phoenix Golden State game, Green was plus 650. Kennard 15-1 in the Laker win. Most rebounds, Bajemski plus 850 in the Golden State Phoenix game. Hart 10-1 in the Knicks win. Jabari Smith 12-1. Most assists, Daniels 8-1. Most threes, Shed 50-1. Miller 4-1. Green plus 550. DiVincenzo plus 450. McCollum and Okongwu dead heat 7-1 and 14-1. Kennard and Shepard dead heat 5-1 and even money. Congrats to you and other listeners that followed. You got 20-1. It closed 11. Alvarez, the first to 10 home runs. And Judge joined him later in the day.
Well, he has 9, I think. He's only on 9.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry
yeah,
about that. I thought he got okay.
But, no, that was a very fun sweat. And that was over at Caesars and Will Hill. I love the fact that they put it up. First time I'd ever seen it in my entire life. And Alvarez has been on fire. And just fun. It was good. I've been tracking all of his games. And that dude, they suck. They're in absolutely awful shape. But I would not give him anything to hit right now.
One road win and their favorite tonight.
Yeah.
How about that? Rockies plus 260 back-to-back. They're trying to take 3 out of 4 at home against the Dodgers. Subscribe, be part of the team, vsin.com, our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos. At Pauly Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in. We'll put you on. So the dog, he knows when terminal he is. He knows where they're going at the airport. Picking up Dad. He's coming home. He can't wait. Getting all excited. Where is he? I see him. Jumping up against the window. Making noise. Ready to go. And the look on his face as he knows. How smart is this guy that he knows once they get closer and what terminal he's at, like he has it memorized as they inch closer where he's going to be. A lot of these videos are the dog actually jumping on the human when they come through in the airport. And this is just attacking him and getting a kiss when he comes up to the car after the terminal. Excellent. Roy Cherry, listener, sent this in. Real or Fugazi, 2 dogs are better than 1. It's absolutely real. Got the corgis. It's got follow the money on right there and watch it win-lose. And they're looking at the videos as they're wrestling and having a good time. Thanks, Roy. Good job. Lose some. It's going to get loud, as Lindor said tomorrow. 11 straight losses for the Mets. 4 times a team has had a losing streak like that and made the playoffs. Happened last year with Cleveland, but the highest payroll, 11 straight losses.
I so badly wish they had a home game today.
Yeah.
Because he's right. It's still going to be definitely in there, and they're going to hear it. It's going to seep through their pores.
Yeah.
But if they had one today, the fans would just be absolutely livid on what's going on.
Pistons lost 11 in a row at home in the playoffs. NBA record. First 1 seed since 1984. Never to lead in their first game. Lose some. ESPN. NBA playoffs. NHL playoffs. Less than a week out from the draft. Wall-to-wall WrestleMania? What do you think? I think it's absolutely bizarre.
Did you go to the website at all?
I saw some of the stuff. It was, they had quite the lineup.
It was littered the entire weekend with WrestleMania stuff all over the front page.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got to be honest.
It's ESPN covering scripted events.
Yeah. So they don't. Do they have NBA playoffs still?
Yes.
Okay.
They got the games Wednesday.
I haven't watched pregame stuff for NBA playoffs ever. It's been that bad for as long as they've ever had it. The pregame, the halftime.
It's Barkley and
unwatchable.
Now, yeah.
Well, now this year, but the pregame stuff, typically for the last 20 years, whatever it's been, you can't watch that. It's all crap. So I don't know. I watch games, and that's all I ever watch on that network. I can't. What are they doing? And by the way, attendance way down from last year.
Was it?
20,000 less.
Oh, wow. Yep. Dallas Stars 1-7 last 8 game ones. They do it every year. One, lose some. Darren Ravel tweeted this. This was 45 years ago today. The Pawtucket Red Sox with Wade Boggs and the Rochester Red Wings with Cal Ripken halt a 2-2 tie in the 32nd inning and decide to resume play at a date to be named later. Pawtucket pitcher Luis Aponte went home before 2 a.m. in the 19th inning after he pitched the 7th through the 10th and was immediately confronted by his wife. Where have you been? I'm at the ballpark. You're lying. There's no way. Like, yes, we played 32 innings. It's still going on. Oh, the beats. Thanks to everyone who sent them in. Bruins and under. 2-0 Bruins, 8 minutes left.
What else you got from that game?
4-2. And then a power play goal with 8 seconds left to put it over. And then also you couldn't cover puck line with Buffalo. Not that they had anything business doing that anyways, but that they scored 4 times in the last 8 minutes.
All I know is that all hell was about to break loose with Sabres fans. Did you see this outside? And thousands of them were out there, barricaded in by like fences, and security guards were doing everything they could to keep them back. And then after like 30 seconds, the guards gave up and started high-fiving the crowd.
All right.
Going up and down, just like celebrating with people.
Of course, Vegas covers the puck line as well. And they were losing in the third period. Saturday, Pirates first 5. 4-0. Skeens on the mound. You got it. It's over. Lengthy rain delay. Pull Skeens. Give up a 5 spot in the 5th. Come on.
All with 2 outs, by the way.
Yep. And first 5, Gore against Seattle, 3-0, 2 outs. And it was a 2-run homer there. And yesterday, the Mets led 1-0 in the 9th, and they blew it. Sports calendar never stops. Sharp Plays covers it all. They've been winning for 15 straight years. All of it documented. When the Sharp Plays move, the books take notice. Pulling in selections and intel from over 500 pro bettors and sources worldwide across all sports. They push the info to subscribers in real time. Start winning with them. SharpPlays.com. Get there now.
What did you think
Of?
the WrestleMania?
I just can't believe they're covering it like that. Wall-to-wall coverage when they carry the NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs, and they have the draft, and it's less than a week out. That it's just all nonsense. It's one thing to just show all this stuff on your website and show every event, but then it's on every show on Friday, and they're at the event, and they're talking to the wrestlers, and you got the McAfee angle as well. Yeah. It's just like you can't.
I have absolutely no problem if you're an adult eating this up for 4 days, wherever it is. It's happened to be in Las Vegas the last 2 years. I get it. Wrestling can be super entertaining and fun. Taking your kids to it as well. All of that jazz. But for it to be covered as much as they did, like this time of year.
Yeah, like if it's legitimate or like it's the draft or something. Yeah,
correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Maybe a little over the top. Slightly anyway.
Yeah.
But
there were plenty of people questioning them as well. The worldwide leader in sports? What are we doing here? Yeah, and the timing. Maybe if it's slow in July, but it's, the playoffs are underway, and you got the draft right around the corner, and then it's like, John Cena's on, or whoever.
I will give you
Reigns.
Another indictment. I can't imagine I'm going to watch any of their coverage for first round of the draft based on who they have on it. I'll go to NFL Network. I'll be here on VSiN, and Netflix is going to have a lot of stuff this year as well on the draft. I'm not going to be dialed into EA. I can't. The people they put on no, thank you. Hard pass for me again this year. This is far from growing up as a kid when all you had on a Saturday afternoon was Berman and Tom Jackson and others for like 7 hours of the first round. And I loved every single second of it, but brutal, man. I guess the NBA, they got lucky because the NBA games were blowouts pretty much across the board, other than that Pistons debacle yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that, what you just said. All of those numbers bet up and they all covered.
Yeah.
In a playoff game, the Thunder lane 17, never a contest.
But that's expected.
Yeah, Celtics bumped to 15, games over in the second quarter.
Yeah. A lot of these were over early.
So they're not going to get challenged at all, Boston?
I see Lance, a listener every day, has got Boston over OKC exact to 80-1.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a ticket. And maybe Boston and the Knicks is the Eastern Conference Finals.
And I hope that we land on those two teams.
These are fantastic semifinal matchups if form holds.
Yeah,
I can tell you that.
I agree. And on that note, we will get into tonight's NBA card coming up. All three home teams in action. Tonight, won and covered in the respective Game 1s. We'll discuss if anything changes in Game 2. And I have some numbers to share that jump off the page with player props. Tonight's action coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.